Hi, I'm trying another video, and this time as a summary for the first week of class. If the video shakes a little, it's because I'm holding my iPad while I'm shooting this, so there's some possibility of shaking. This is a way for me to respond. I mean, I've responded to many of the posts when I thought that my insights can help a little. Many times you answered each other posts, which is fantastic and was very beneficial for me to hear what you're thinking. And I think that as a community, we have the collective experiences and pieces of knowledge we picked up along the way that help us together formulate some ideas. One of the things that really showed up in Laudino's early chapter, and everybody attended to this detail or that detail, and some of you have had this insight, and I think everybody agrees, but I think the most important thing to remember from those early chapters, before we get into the history and everything, is that the main point here is not this study or that study. Most of them are not his studies. It's he talks about Kahneman and Tversky and others. All are interesting studies done mostly within actually economics and behavioral economics specifically that are very, very interesting, but still the main point remains. Our brains are not wired to understand the word statistically. We are wired to understand local phenomena and to constantly seek explanations, whether they're there or not. His point is not that everything is random, is that even when it is random, we are unable to recognize it unless we attend to it very, very carefully and try to make sense of it. And as a result, every time we have questions that may have alternative solutions, or the answer might be, this is just part of a normal distribution, we have to work it out. We have to try it out and calculate it, and if we don't, we might err because we have these biases towards explanations that are very interesting, but often not rooted in a reality. I wanted to say something about mixed methods research, and two things that are important. One is, and again, that's something I wrote in a post, but I'm not sure everybody read it. You have to understand that Creswell himself, wonderful as he is devoted to mixed method research. And if you're interested in it at all and have room in your program, I would suggest taking his mixed methods class, because he is literally the person who wrote the book. Although he wrote your book as well, he is also the person that is editing the journal about mixed method research, and he's also the grand guru in many ways. Although he's not the only one, and there are other people in the field, obviously, he is definitely one of the major names. So he is biased towards mixed methods research in a way that I am probably biased towards what is called design research or the design experiment, because that's something that I've started doing early in my career, and I still think it's probably one of the best ways to construct new curriculum and professional development. So we all have our biases as we go along. The other piece is that I truly think that to do mixed methods well, we need mostly teams. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we first have to understand the nuclear methodologies and how to work them out and how to think within them before we marry it all together. It's such a complex set of ideas within mixed methods research that we really want to have some basic understanding, at least in my thinking, before we move on, or we might just not do it well. A few words about the assignment. The assignment that we have, the annotated bibliography. What you need to do is find resources that fit within your question, hopefully something you're hoping to look at within your master's. Do the literature search as is advised, and the materials are there to help you do that. And then for each article you read, you do a 75 to 100 word summary, which is extremely short. It's a quarter of a page or so. And the idea is give me or us the major findings from that study, then critique it, and maybe in a line or two tell me how it's related to your topic. Because often we have a very specific topic, and it may draw from multiple resources or from multiple places, or conversely, it doesn't have the exact wording in the articles that pertain to it, so you've got to do a search that is a little bit wider. And the last word of advice about this paper, as you list those articles and write shortly about each one, is to start your search, and the resources say that, but I'll say that again. The best place to start the search is either with a handbook with a relevant chapter about what you're doing, whether it's science education, working with English language learners, literacy education, math education, teacher research, whatever it is, it's got a handbook. And the library has many of them. And you can use that to really jumpstart. You'll have, first of all, a survey of what happened until that chapter was written, which gives you a historical overview, and it gives you the seminal writing in the field and the seminal thinking in the field, especially if it was published fairly recently. The second option is to go to articles that are reviews of the research on a specific topic, and here there are a few journals that specialize in review. So for example, Review of Educational Research is one of them that is published by the American Educational Research Association. It's a very good journal. It's available from our library, and if you can find your topic or things that are related to your topic that are a little bit wider, that would be a place to look for highly relevant summaries, but also they will lead you to the next wave of references, and you will know that they are the major things happening in the field. One of the posts asked me if you're supposed to respond to each other. There's no formal requirement to engage with each other. I think that that's something that should and is happening right now as part of community. And I would like you to do that because I think you're enriching each other when you're interacting and asking and answering. But formally, I'm not scoring it.